Every day, millions of people confess things on Reddit they'd never admit to their own families. Some are embarrassing. Some are heartbreaking. But every once in a while, someone posts a confession so disturbing that thousands of strangers stop scrolling. Tonight, you're about to hear 5 Reddit confessions that spread across the internet because people couldn't decide whether they were horrifyingly true or terrifyingly fake. Either way, these stories stay with you. Reddit is different from almost every other social media platform. Most people don't use their real names. No profile photos. No friends watching. Just anonymous usernames hidden behind a screen. That anonymity has created one of the internet's largest collections of secrets. Every day, people confess crimes. Relationships they've destroyed. Things they've witnessed. And experiences they claim have haunted them for years. Now, it's impossible to verify every confession posted online. Some may be true. Some may be fiction. But regardless of what's real, millions of people believe these stories enough to keep sharing them. These are 5 of the most disturbing Reddit confessions ever posted. One Reddit user explained that they had recently moved into an old house built decades earlier. While cleaning the basement, they noticed something strange. A section of the concrete wall sounded hollow. At first, they ignored it. But curiosity kept pulling them back. Eventually they chipped away part of the wall. Behind it, there was a small wooden door. No handle. No windows. No explanation. According to the post, it looked like it hadn't been opened for years. When they finally forced it open, there wasn't treasure. There wasn't another room. Just dozens of old photographs. Every single photo showed the same family. Standing in the same basement. Year after year. The only difference. Each new photograph had one less person standing in it. The final picture showed only one person. Holding the camera. The user claimed they immediately called relatives who had owned the house before. No one answered. Hours later, the Reddit account disappeared. No updates. No explanation. Nothing. People still debate whether the story was real. Or simply one of Reddit's greatest horror posts. What makes stories like this so effective isn't the hidden room. It's what your imagination fills in. When a story leaves questions unanswered, your brain starts writing its own ending. And that's often far scarier than anything the author could have written. But compared to the next confession, this one almost feels harmless. Late one night, a Reddit user admitted they accidentally walked into the wrong apartment after work. The door wasn't locked. Inside, everything looked almost identical to their own apartment. Same couch. Same television. Same kitchen layout. They didn't realize the mistake until they saw framed family photos that weren't theirs. Panicking, they quietly left. The next morning, their actual apartment door was already open. Nothing had been stolen. Nothing looked damaged. Except one thing. Someone had moved every family photograph in the apartment. Each frame had been turned. Facing the wall. No valuables missing. No fingerprints. No sign of forced entry. Just silent evidence that someone had been inside. The Reddit post ended with a single sentence. I've never forgotten to lock my door again. Thousands of comments debated whether it was coincidence. A stalker. Or something much stranger. Fear isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a tiny detail. A chair that slightly moved. A door left open. A photograph facing the wrong direction. Those small details are often what make a story unforgettable. But the third confession takes that fear into the digital world. One user confessed that for almost 6 months, They believed they were chatting online with someone they had met through a gaming community. The conversations became daily. They shared family problems, career plans, personal fears. Eventually they agreed to meet. The other person never arrived. Instead, the user received a message. "I'm already here." They looked around. Nothing. Then another message. "I've been watching you for 20 minutes. The confession claimed they ran home immediately. Days later, someone emailed them screenshots of conversations they had never sent. Private webcam photos they didn't remember taking. And details that only someone extremely close to them should have known. The Reddit account stopped posting shortly afterward. No follow-up. No confirmation. Only speculation. Was it social engineering? Malware? Or something entirely fabricated? No one knows. If stories like these fascinate you, subscribe now. Every week I dig through internet mysteries, disturbing history, and unexplained stories that most people never hear about. Because sometimes, the darkest stories aren't found in movies. They're hidden in places people visit every single day. A Reddit user wrote about spending several weeks recovering in a hospital after surgery. Every night, at exactly 2:13 a.m., an elderly woman would quietly enter the room. She never spoke. She simply stood beside the bed, smiled, and left. The nurses insisted no elderly woman was staying on that floor. Security cameras supposedly showed no one entering the room. The patient assumed they were hallucinating because of medication. Months later, during a follow-up appointment, the user mentioned the woman to a nurse. According to the confession, the nurse froze. Then quietly asked, "Did she have a blue sweater?" The user said yes. The nurse allegedly replied, "She died here 6 years ago." Whether that conversation ever happened, no one could prove. But thousands of Reddit readers admitted they checked the time every night after reading it. Ghost stories usually rely on jump scares. This one doesn't. It relies on routine. The woman wasn't threatening. She simply kept showing up. Sometimes, predictability can be even more disturbing than violence. But nothing compares to the final confession.